One 8-hour shift later, lunchtime. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a sandwich. Bread, meat, different meat, cheese, sauce, boom. So yeah, remember that thing I said on Friday or Saturday or whenever about how you're gonna see me at my best and my worst? Yeah. Inventory days aren't fun, guys. It's basically just 3.5 hours of counting things. How to conduct an inventory. Step 1. Count everything. But that's just how it goes. Sometimes I have to wake up super early to go to work. I usually have to wake up about 3:30 to go into work on time because I usually work about 5 a.m. Exactly 5 a.m. But on inventory days I have to go in an hour early, and so that means I'm waking up at 2:30 a.m. So I'm basically waking up to start my day, often at around the same time that folks who have been out to the bars, say, all night, are ending their day. I have actually crossed paths on my way to work with people who are just coming home for the night. It's a little surreal, because for them it's still the previous day. Anyway, I'm going to eat my lunch, and then I'm going to take a nap, and then I am actually going to be Skyping with my friend Jesse of Coded Lock Films. I mentioned this in a previous video, but it was towards the end of a very, very long vlog, so not everybody might have seen it, but we are actually going to be releasing our monthly podcast a week early. It's normally the third Friday of every month, but this week we're going to release it in order to coincide with the Project for Awesome, which is also this Friday. So Jesse and I are actually going to record that today, and we're going to be talking about the charities that we picked for Project for Awesome, and so I actually have to go and look up my charity and research it a little bit. So, yeah, that's happening later this afternoon, and then I don't know after that. We'll see. So, yeah. And now it's time for a walk. So, since at my job I had to count things, I thought today I would count my jobs. I don't know, but I'm going to tell you the jobs that I have worked and the reasons why I left them, if I left them. Job number 1, my high school hired students to work over the summer, just extra help for maintenance and cleaning and that sort of thing, and I did that for 2 summers. Mostly was just stripping and waxing all the floors in the classroom, which was exactly the amount of fun that you think it is. And I did go to work there a 3rd summer, but they cut back on workers and I wasn't very good at it, so they didn't hire me back. Job number 2, I worked for a guy who operated a business out of his home, and the business was putting protective plastic coatings on screws and tools and nails and that sort of thing. Never really fully understood what the purpose of that was, but he had some success doing it, and he hired me for a few summers to help him out with that. He literally just had all the machinery set up in his barn, and yeah, I worked there. It was basically factory work, but on a very, very small scale. I don't remember why I stopped working there. I think I just found something that paid better. Job number 3. When I was a senior in college, the head of the theory department, the music theory department, approached me about tutoring, and so I was a tutor for theory and oral skills students, and I actually got that job back when I went back to grad school. Stopped doing that because I stopped being a student at BGSU, and therefore I couldn't be a tutor anymore. You can poop anytime, pup. Job number 4. The summer before my last year in college, I worked on the summer grounds crew at Ashland University. We pooping? We're pooping. All right. Speaking of grounds crew, I don't know what that means. I planted some things and mostly did a lot of weeding and deadheading and occasionally got to water the plants. Best thing about that job was I got to ride around in a go-kart. So, you know, go-kart? Golf cart. It was a golf cart. I left that job because it was a summer job and I really didn't particularly feel like doing it another summer after that. My boss was kind of maniacal. Oh wow, white balance. Job number 5. After I graduated from college with my music education degree, I of course tried to find a music teaching job and didn't find one, and so I became a substitute teacher. So yes, I did what a lot of first-time teachers do. I became a substitute teacher, and this is also about the time that I started vlogging, but through substitute teaching I also had a couple of other side jobs that all kind of fell under the same umbrella. First off, I was a tutor for a couple of students who were on IEPs because they they had physical disabilities that kept from being able to attend school. And secondly, I got to assist the band program because that's ultimately what I wanted to do, is be a band director. And so, again, through the sub program, I got some payment for helping out with the band program. I also did some private tutoring during this time, and this was also the year that I had my first musical directing job for a theater production, Gilligan's Island the Musical. I'm not going to list every single one of my musical theater directing jobs, just that is something that I do to make money. Job number 6. Went back to graduate school, got my music theory tutoring job back, but I've already talked about that one. And I also got a job at the church where I had been attending as the bell choir director. I held that job for 6 years and ended up leaving it for reasons I'll get into a little bit later. Job number 7. After relying on student loans for a couple of years, I wasn't a full-time student anymore, and so I couldn't take advantage of them anymore, and so I had to start working once again as a substitute teacher. This time I was primarily just a sub, but I also did a lot of sub-para work, working in special education classrooms. Also, to earn some extra money, job number 8, I was hired out by my grandparents to basically help to maintain their yard and their garden. Job number 9, I got another job at the church where I had been attending as the praise team director. When I first got this job, I shared it with somebody else, but after a couple of years, she moved away, and so I had it all to myself, and overall, I worked this job for 3.5 years, and I finally left the job basically because they were putting way too many demands on me. They didn't really understand what it was I was supposed to be doing, and they were asking me to do way more than it was really in my job description to do, and so I left. This is also the time I left the bell choir position. Job number, I think I'm on 10. Am I on 10? We'll say I'm on 10. Job number 10, I finally got a for real full-time music teaching position. Not as a band director, but as a kindergarten through 8th grade general music teacher at a small urban charter school. But it was a job, it was full-time, it was salaried, and I liked it well enough. It was an enjoyable job, and I actually did very much enjoy teaching general music. I had that job for 1 year, and then they decided they didn't have enough room in the budget to afford paying a music teacher, and so they cut my position. Not an uncommon story for music teachers. And then came the year where I was working no fewer than 4 jobs at any given time. Still had my church job, and then job number 11 was another music teaching position, but very, very part-time at another urban charter school. Job number 12, another music teaching position at a Montessori school, again, very, very part-time. And job number 13, a tutoring position, more regular than what I had had in the past. And on top of that, I took on various musical directing jobs and musician jobs and that sort of thing. And after that year, I basically decided that I was pretty well burned out on teaching. I was getting tired of working as hard as I was as a music teacher and not really getting appreciated for it, both financially and just in general. And I was getting pretty tired of the education system in general, so I just decided I was going to stop teaching, at least for a little while, and now a little while is kind of turning into a longer while. But I still needed another job, and I actually ended up getting 2 that summer. Job number 14 is I got another church job, which I am still working now. Praise team director, again. And job number 15 is working in the produce department of my local grocery store, which is what I'm still doing now, and I actually moved to a different store and got promoted, but I'm still working at that store and for that company, so that's what I'm doing now. Do I miss teaching? I mean, it is technically what I went into college and graduate school for, but honestly, I don't miss being a full-time teacher really all that much. I miss actually teaching, like the actual act of imparting knowledge, but I don't necessarily miss the profession of being a teacher. I like doing the sort of teaching that I'm doing when I'm directing something, when I'm being a musical director, when I'm doing maybe a little bit of tutoring, when I am even teaching people how to pick out produce at the store, that sort of thing. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy having a full-time job with definite fixed hours where I can come home and not have to take my work home with me and work on other things like this while I'm at home. That's been nice for me. Okay, I'm going to charge the battery on this camera and clear out some space on the chip so that I can record the podcast with Jesse in 20 minutes. And now I have recorded the podcast, and I think it's going to be pretty good. Now, at some point I need to record the actual Project for Awesome video, that it's going to lead to the podcast, but maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I think for today, I am just going to send this footage off to Jesse, which will probably take most of the rest of the night because there's a lot of it, and it's kind of a slow transfer. And maybe I'll wash some dishes and just sit around. And that's going to be the rest of my day. So I think I will end this vlog here for today. So until tomorrow, friends, have a good one.